Hyunwoo Park sat in his chair and watched the stars through the big window. The space station was quiet tonight. Most of the workers were sleeping. Only the night crew stayed awake to watch for signals from faraway places. He had been the commander of this station for 5 years now. His father was commander before him, and his grandfather before that. The Park family always watched the stars. They always listened for messages from other worlds. The station floated around a huge gas planet called Thesara Prime. The planet was purple and blue, with storms that never stopped. Beautiful but dangerous, just like space itself. Hyunwoo drank his coffee and looked at the screens. Numbers and lights showed him what was happening in space around them. Everything looked normal. Ships came and went. Alien traders sold their goods. Nothing special. Then the alarm started beeping. So-young Kim ran into the control room. Her hair was messy and she wore her sleeping clothes. "Commander, we got something strange," she said. Her voice was excited but worried. So-young was the best language expert on the station. She could understand signals from dozens of alien races. If she was worried, then something big was happening. "What is it?" Hyunwoo asked. He stood up and followed her to the big computer. "A signal from the old days," So-young said. She pointed at the screen. Really old. Maybe 3,000 years or more. Hyunwoo felt cold. 3,000 years ago was when Earth died. When the big rock from space hit their home planet and killed everyone. When humans became scattered across the stars like dust. "Where is it coming from?" he asked. "That's the weird part," So-young said. She pressed some buttons and the screen changed. "It's coming from the direction of Earth, but Earth is gone. Nothing there but rocks and ice now." Ji-ho Lee walked into the room. He was the security chief. A big, quiet man who never smiled much. He had scars on his hands from some old fight. Nobody knew much about his past, but everyone trusted him. "Heard the alarm," Ji-ho said. "Problem?" "Maybe," Hyunwoo said. "Show him, So-young." So-young played the signal. It was mostly noise at first. Static and crackling sounds. But underneath there was something else. A pattern. Like someone trying to talk through a storm. "I cleaned it up as much as I can," So-young said. She pressed another button. Now they could hear words. Old words in the ancient Earth language. "This is Earth Station Alpha," the voice said. It was a woman's voice, tired and sad. "Final transmission. If anyone receives this message, remember us. Remember the blue world. The data package contains everything you need. Find the others. Bring them home." The message repeated 3 times, then went quiet. The 3 friends stood in silence. Hyunwoo felt his heart beating fast. This was impossible. Earth had been silent for thousands of years. How could there be a message now? "Could be fake," Ji-ho said, but his voice didn't sound sure. "No," So-young said. She was looking at more screens now. "The signal is real. And old, really old. This was sent during Earth's final days. But how are we hearing it now?" Hyunwoo asked. So-young bit her lip. She always did that when she was thinking hard. Maybe it bounced around space for thousands of years. Hit some stars, got bent by gravity, took the long way here. Or maybe someone wanted us to hear it now. Ji-ho said quietly. Hyunwoo looked at his friend. "What do you mean?" Ji-ho was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "My grandmother told me stories. About the old days. About people who escaped before Earth died. She said they had a plan." "What kind of plan?" So-young asked. "To come back someday, when they were ready." Hyunwoo felt excited and scared at the same time. If Ji-ho's grandmother was right, if there were still humans out there somewhere, then everything would change. "The woman in the message talked about a data package," Hyunwoo said. "Can we find it?" So-young nodded and started working on her computer. Her fingers moved fast across the buttons. Numbers and symbols filled the screen. "Found it," she said after a few minutes. "It's big. Really big. Like someone tried to put a whole library in one signal. Can you open it?" "I'm trying. But it's locked. We need some kind of key." Hyunwoo thought about the message. She said to find the others. "Maybe the key is with them." "What others?" Ji-ho asked. Before anyone could answer, another alarm started beeping. This one was different. It meant ships were coming. So-young looked at her screens. 5 ships just dropped out of hyperspace. "They're not on the schedule." "What kind of ships?" Hyunwoo asked. "Unknown design. I've never seen anything like them." Ji-ho moved to the weapons control. "Should I power up the defense systems?" Hyunwoo thought for a moment. These ships appeared right after they found the old Earth signal. That couldn't be chance. No, he said. But get ready. So Young, try to talk to them. So Young sent out a standard greeting message. They waited. Space was very quiet. Then a voice came through the speakers. A human voice. Station Thesara Prime, this is Admiral Changmin Yu of the Hidden Fleet. We received your signal analysis. Permission to dock. We have much to discuss. Hyunwoo's mouth fell open. Jiho dropped his hand from the weapons. So Young stared at the screen like she couldn't believe what she heard. Did he say Hidden Fleet? So Young whispered. The voice came again. Commander Park, we know you're listening. Your grandfather sent us a message 20 years ago. We've been waiting for the right time to return. That time is now. Hyunwoo's legs felt weak. His grandfather died 15 years ago. How could these people know him? Commander? The voice said. The Earth signal you just found was meant for you. For all of us. It's time to unlock the data package. But we can't do it alone. Hyunwoo looked at his friends. So Young was excited, her eyes bright. Jiho looked calm, but Hyunwoo could see he was ready for anything. This is Commander Hyunwoo Park, he said into the microphone. You have permission to dock, but I want to know who you are and what you want. We're humans, Commander, just like you. We've been hiding in the dark spaces between stars for thousands of years, waiting, learning, getting ready. Ready for what? To honor Earth's final gift, to show the galaxy what humans can really do. Your station found the key. Now we can unlock the door. The 5 strange ships moved closer to the station. They were beautiful, Hyunwoo thought. Sleek and silver like they were made from starlight itself. Nothing like the rough, practical ships humans usually built. So Young, he said. Send a message to the Galactic Council. Tell them we have visitors. What should I tell them? Hyunwoo watched the ships dock with his station. In a few minutes, he would meet humans from the Hidden Fleet. Humans who had been waiting in secret for thousands of years. Tell them the game just changed, he said. Admiral Changmin Yu was not what Hyunwoo expected. The man was tall and calm with gray hair and kind eyes. He wore a uniform that looked both old and new at the same time. Simple but well made. Commander Park, Changmin said as he walked into the station. You look just like your grandfather. He would be proud. Behind him came 2 other people. A woman with short black hair who carried a bag full of books and data tablets. A younger man with strong hands covered in oil stains. This is Dr. Yoonji Shin, Changmin said, pointing to the woman. She knows more about old Earth than anyone alive. And this is engineer Dong Hyun Ko. He builds things that shouldn't be possible. Hyunwoo shook their hands. Welcome to Station Thesara Prime. I have a million questions. I'm sure you do, Changmin smiled. But first we need to unlock that data package. The galaxy is watching. Other races picked up that signal too. Some of them won't be happy to learn humans are still alive. So Young looked up from her computer. I've been trying to open it for hours. It's like nothing I've ever seen. Dr. Yoonji walked over to look at the screen. She pulled out a small device from her bag. May I? So Young moved aside. Yoonji connected her device to the computer. The screen filled with new symbols and numbers. Earth's final encryption, Yoonji said softly. I haven't seen this in 30 years. You've seen it before? Hyunwoo asked. Oh yes. Every human ship in the Hidden Fleet has a copy of the Earth signal. We've been studying it for thousands of years, but this is the first time we found a station that could unlock it. Why our station? Changmin answered. Because your grandfather helped design the lock. 3 generations ago, he was part of the team that planned Earth's final transmission. He built this station in the exact right place to catch the signal when it finally arrived. Hyunwoo felt dizzy. My grandfather knew this would happen. He hoped it would. He died believing his grandson would be here when the time came. Yoonji pressed some buttons on her device. The screen changed. Slowly, the data package began to open. What's in it? So Young asked. Everything, Yoonji said. Every book. Every song. Every scientific discovery. Every work of art. Earth's entire memory compressed into one signal. But as the files opened, they could see there was more than just old Earth records. There were blueprints for machines that looked impossible. Designs for ships that could travel faster than anything in the galaxy. Plans for cities that could float in space. These technologies, Donghyun said, looking at the engineering files, they're thousands of years ahead of what we have now. Earth was dying, Changmin explained. But in those final years, humans worked harder than ever before. They knew they had to leave something behind, something that would help their children when they returned. Jiho had been quiet, but now he spoke. My grandmother was right. There was a plan, Changmin nodded. Your grandmother was one of us, Jiho. She stayed behind to watch and wait, to make sure the signal would be heard when it arrived. Where have you been all this time? Hyunwoo asked. Out there, Changmin pointed toward the dark space beyond the station. In the void between star systems. Places where no one else goes. We built hidden worlds. We grew our population. We learned to build things the galaxy has never seen. Yoonji pulled up more files. Look at this, she said. The screen showed pictures of beautiful cities floating in space. Gardens growing on asteroids. Ships bigger than mountains. We have 47 hidden worlds now, Changmin said. 2 billion humans who have never seen the inside of an alien city. Who have spent their whole lives preparing for this day. Preparing for what? So Young asked. To come home. To take our place in the galaxy again. But not as conquerors. As builders. Dong Hyun was studying the technical files. These terraforming designs could turn dead planets into gardens in just a few years. And this energy technology could power whole star systems. The galaxy hasn't seen innovation like this in 1,000 years, Changmin said. Most alien races stopped trying to improve things long ago. They're happy with what they have. But humans never stop trying to make things better. An alarm beeped softly. So Young checked her screens. More ships coming in. Lots of them. Friends of yours? Hyunwoo asked Changmin. Some of them, Changmin said. But he looked worried. Others might not be so friendly. The first new ships were sleek and silver like Changmin's fleet. But behind them came different ships. Rough and dark. Military ships from the Galactic Council. They're demanding to speak with us, So Young said. Put them through, Hyunwoo said. A harsh voice filled the room. It spoke the galactic common language with clicks and hisses. An alien voice, human station, you will surrender the terrorists who call themselves the Hidden Fleet. They are criminals who have violated galactic law by hiding their existence. Changmin stepped forward. This is Admiral Changmin Yu. We have broken no laws. Humans have the right to exist wherever we choose. Humans are an extinct species, the alien voice said. You are imposters. Criminals who have stolen human technology. We are the children of Earth, Changmin said calmly. We carry the blood and dreams of the blue world. We have returned to claim our place among the stars. Impossible. All humans died when Earth fell. Yoonji smiled and pulled up another file from the data package. Would you like to see the passenger list from the last ships to leave Earth? My mother's name is on one of them. She was 12 years old when she escaped. The alien was quiet for a moment. Then, even if you are truly human, you have no right to return. The galaxy has moved beyond your primitive ways. Primitive? Dong-hyun laughed. He showed his engineering tablet to the camera. We can build engines that make your fastest ships look like they're standing still. We can turn any dead rock into a living world. We can build cities in the hearts of stars. Lies. Let us prove it, Changmin said. Give us one dead system. One place where nothing lives and nothing grows. In 5 years, we'll turn it into a paradise. Hyunwoo watched the conversation with growing excitement. These hidden humans weren't just survivors. They were something new, something amazing. More ships were arriving now. The space around the station was getting crowded. Some belonged to the Hidden Fleet. Others came from different alien governments. Everyone wanted to see what was happening. The Galactic Council will meet to discuss this matter, the alien voice finally said. Until then, you will remain at that station. We're not prisoners, Changmin said. But we'll wait. We have time. The communication ended. The room was quiet except for the humming of computers. What happens now? Hyunwoo asked. Now we show them what humans can do, Changmin said. But first, we need to contact all the other hidden worlds. It's time for everyone to come home. Yoonji was still going through the Earth files. Look at this, she said. She showed them a message written in simple text. To our children among the stars, it read. We failed to save our world, but we did not fail to save our dreams. Use what we have given you. Build something better than what we had. Make the galaxy remember why humans matter. Your people have been waiting thousands of years for this moment, Hyunwoo said to Changmin. Yes, but we weren't just waiting. We were preparing, learning, growing stronger. Earth gave us the tools. Now it's time to use them. Outside the station, more ships arrived every hour. The Hidden Fleet was coming out of the darkness. After thousands of years of hiding, humans were returning to the light and the galaxy would never be the same. The meeting hall on Station Thessera Prime had never been so full. Representatives from 12 different alien species sat around the big table. Some breathed air like humans. Others wore special suits filled with gas or water. All of them looked confused and worried. Tae-hyung Choi stood at the front of the room holding a small book. He was old with white hair and gentle hands, but his voice was strong when he spoke. "My friends," he said in perfect galactic common language, "you know me as Scholar Choi. For 60 years I have studied with your universities. I have learned your histories and shared your discoveries. Today I want to share something with you." He opened the book. The pages were yellow with age. "This is a book of poems from Earth, written 3,000 years ago by a woman named Kim Sora. She wrote about her garden and her children and the blue sky above her world." The alien representatives looked at each other. One of them, a tall creature with 4 arms, spoke up. "Scholar Choi, we respect your research into human artifacts, but these criminals who call themselves the Hidden Fleet cannot be allowed to disrupt galactic peace." "Criminals?" Tae-hyung smiled sadly. "Ambassador Veltar, I have worked with your people for decades. You're scientists. You believe in evidence. Let me show you some evidence." Mi Young-jung walked into the room. She was young and confident, wearing the blue uniform of a human diplomatic officer. Behind her came 6 other humans, all carrying bags and data tablets. "This is impossible," said another alien representative. This one looked like a giant lizard with crystal scales. "There are only a few thousand humans left in the galaxy. How can there be so many?" "Because you stopped looking for us," Mi Young said calmly. "You decided we were extinct, so you stopped checking if that was true." She pressed a button on her tablet. The room's big screen came alive with numbers and charts. "There are currently 2,400,000,000 humans living in the galaxy," she said. "We have settlements in 47 star systems. We have built cities, schools, factories, and farms. We have poets and engineers and children who have never seen an alien ship." The room erupted in angry voices. Several aliens stood up and started arguing with each other. "Order," Ambassador Veltar called out. "Even if these numbers are real, why did you hide from us?" Woo Jin-han stepped forward. He was a scientist, tall and thin with kind eyes. "Because we needed time to become something new," he said. He pulled out a small device and placed it on the table. It hummed softly and began to glow. "This is a micro-terraformer," Woo Jin said. "It can analyze any planet and design a complete ecosystem in minutes. It can turn a dead rock into a living world." "Impossible," said the lizard-like alien. "Our best terraforming technology takes centuries to create a stable biosphere." "Your technology is very good," Woo Jin agreed. "But you stopped trying to improve it 500 years ago." "We never stopped trying." He activated the device. The room filled with a soft, warm light. Suddenly, the air smelled like flowers and rain. "In 5 minutes, this device has analyzed the atmosphere in this room and begun optimizing it for all of our species. Everyone is breathing easier now. Your thoughts are clearer. Your bodies feel better." Several aliens touched their faces in surprise. They did feel better. "Earth's final gift wasn't just data," Tae-hyung said. "It was a way of thinking. A refusal to accept that things can't be improved. Humans have spent 3,000 years asking, what if we tried this? While the rest of the galaxy asked, why change what works?" Ambassador Veltar was studying the readings on his own instruments. "These atmospheric improvements are remarkable." "How is it possible?" "Because we never forgot where we came from," Mi Young said. "Every child in the Hidden Fleet learns about Earth, about the blue skies and green forests, about the world we lost. We carry that memory in our hearts." She gestured to Tae-hyung. "Scholar Choi isn't just our ambassador to your worlds. He's a memory keeper, one of thousands who preserve every story, every poem, every song from the old world." Tae-hyung opened his book again. "Would you like to hear Kim Sora's poem about hope? She wrote it the day before the asteroid hit Earth." "We don't have time for poetry," the lizard alien said. "We need to discuss the practical implications of your return." "The poem is the practical implication," Tae-hyung said gently. "Listen." He read in the old Earth language first, then translated. "When the garden dies, the seeds remain. When the tree falls, the roots remember. What was lost can grow again, stronger than before if we tend it with love." The room was quiet. Even the angry alien seemed to be thinking. "You see," Mi Young said, "we didn't just survive. We learned to remember. Your civilizations are thousands of years old, but you've forgotten what you were trying to achieve. You maintain what you have, but you don't dream of what you could become." Wu Jin activated another device. This time the screen showed pictures of human cities among the stars. Beautiful places with towers that looked like trees and bridges that seemed to float in air. "We've spent 3,000 years dreaming," he said, "imagining what we could build if we had another chance. Look at these cities. Every building is alive. Every street cleans itself. Every home produces more energy than it uses. And you want to share this technology?" Ambassador Veltar asked. "We want to share everything," Myung said, "but not as charity, as partnership. We've been alone for so long. We want to work with you to build something amazing." Another alien representative spoke up. This one was small and blue with large eyes. "What do you want in return?" "A chance to come home," Taehyung said. "Not to Earth, that world is gone. But to the galaxy. We want our children to see alien cities. We want to learn from your philosophers and teach in your schools. We want to be part of the community again." "Some of our people won't like this," the lizard alien said. "They've built their entire governments around the idea that progress is dangerous. That change leads to chaos. Then maybe it's time for new ideas," Myung said. "We're not asking you to change your ways. We're offering to help you remember why you started exploring the stars in the first place." Wu Jin showed them more pictures. Planets covered in forests that grew in perfect spirals. Oceans that sang with whale-like creatures engineered to live in harmony with fish. Cities that looked like giant flowers blooming between mountains. "This is what we can build together," he said. "Not human worlds or alien worlds, but something new. Something better than either of us could create alone." Ambassador Veltar looked at his instruments again. The air in the room was still improving. His people were known for their careful thinking, and he was thinking very carefully now. "If we agree to this partnership," he said, "how do we know you won't try to dominate us? Humans were known for their ambition in the old days." Taehyung smiled and closed his book. "Because we learned something in our exile. The universe is big enough for everyone to succeed. There's no need to fight over resources when you can create new ones. There's no need to conquer when you can cooperate. Earth taught us that," Myung added. "When our world died, we learned that nothing lasts forever unless you take care of it. We want to take care of the galaxy, all of it, together." The meeting went on for hours. Some aliens were excited about the possibilities. Others were scared of change. But slowly agreements began to form. By the end of the day, 7 species had agreed to small partnership projects. They would share their knowledge with humans and learn from human innovations. It was a start. As the aliens left the station, Taehyung stood by the window and looked out at the stars. "What are you thinking about?" Myung asked. "Kim Sora's garden," he said. "She never got to see her flowers bloom. But her poem helped us remember how to plant new ones." Outside, the hidden fleet ships were beginning to spread out across the galaxy. After 3,000 years in the darkness, humans were finally coming home. President Insu Bay stood on the bridge of the greatest ship ever built by human hands. The new Terra was more than just a spacecraft. It was a flying city home to 500,000 people, powered by engines that could move small moons. "Sir," said his aide, a young woman named Hye Jin, "the Korthak Empire has just declared war on our colonies in the Vega system." Insu nodded calmly. He had expected this. Not all alien races were happy about humanity's return to the galaxy. Some saw humans as a threat to their power. "And the Zephyrian Alliance?" he asked. "They're mobilizing their fleets. They claim we violated the Treaty of Distant Stars by establishing settlements without permission." General Kyung-ho Moon walked over from the tactical display. He was a soldier, but not the kind who loved war. His job was to keep people safe, not to conquer enemies. "We could defend ourselves easily," Kyung-ho said. "Our ships are faster and our weapons are more advanced." "But that's not what you want to do, is it?" "No," Insu said. "Fighting them would prove their point. They think humans are still the same warriors who left Earth 3,000 years ago. We need to show them something different." He walked to the center of the bridge and activated the communication system. His voice would now reach every human ship in the galaxy and every alien government that wanted to listen. "My fellow humans," he said, "today marks a turning point. Some of our neighbors have chosen violence over dialogue. They attack our colonies because they fear what we represent. They fear change." On the tactical display, red dots showed enemy fleets moving toward human settlements. There were hundreds of ships, enough to destroy every human colony if they chose to fight. "We could win this war," Insu continued. "Our technology is superior. Our people are united. Our cause is just But winning a war is not our goal. Building a better galaxy is our goal. Ambassador Ye Jin Song appeared on the screen. She was speaking from the capital world of the Galactic Council, surrounded by alien diplomats. President Bay, she said formally, the Council demands that you withdraw all human settlements from disputed territories. They say you have 1 day to comply or face the consequences. And what do you say, Ambassador? Insu asked. Yejin smiled. I say we give them something they've never seen before. Insu nodded. General Moon, please implement Protocol 7. Yes, sir, Kyung-ho said. He didn't sound excited about war. He sounded excited about peace. Across the galaxy, human ships began to move. But they didn't attack the alien fleets. Instead, they did something unexpected. They invited them to watch. This is Admiral Hyunwoo Park, came a voice over the communications. Hyunwoo had been promoted after the events at Station Thesara Prime. To all ships in the Vega system, please observe what happens when humans decide to build instead of destroy. The largest human colony ship in the Vega system, the Garden of Memory, began to change. Its hull opened like a flower blooming. Inside, everyone could see not weapons, but something else entirely. Seeds. Millions and millions of seeds. What are they doing? Asked the commander of the Korthak war fleet. Watch and learn, Hyunwoo replied. The seeds spread out into space, each one guided by tiny engines. They didn't aim for the alien ships. They aimed for the dead planets in the system. Insu watched from his command bridge as the first seeds reached the lifeless world of Vega Prime. The planet was nothing but rock and ice. No one had ever lived there. No one had ever wanted to. But as the human seeds touched the surface, everything began to change. Micro-terraformers, explained Dr. Woo Jin Han over the communication system. Each seed contains a complete ecosystem. In 6 months, this dead world will have forests and rivers. In 1 year, it will have cities. The alien commanders watched in amazement as the dead planet began to turn green. Clouds formed in the sky. Oceans appeared where there had been only craters. This is impossible, said the Korthak commander. Terraforming takes centuries. Your terraforming takes centuries, Yejin replied from the council chambers. Human terraforming takes as long as life needs to grow. General Kyung-ho showed Insu the tactical display. The red dots representing enemy ships had stopped moving. They were just floating in space, watching the miracle happen below them. Sir, said another communication officer, we're getting messages from all over the galaxy. Everyone wants to know how we're doing this. Tell them, Insu said. This is what the new covenant offers. Not conquest, not domination. Cooperation. Ambassador Yejin was now speaking to the full Galactic Council. Alien representatives from hundreds of worlds were listening. For too long, our galaxy has been divided by scarcity, she said. We fight over resources because we think there aren't enough to go around. We compete for space because we think the universe is too small. But what if we could create new resources? What if we could make new worlds? On the display screens around the council chamber, they could see what was happening in the Vega system. 3 dead planets were turning into living worlds in real time. The humans offer partnership, Yejin continued. They will share their terraforming technology. They will help you build new worlds for your people. They ask only one thing in return. What? Asked the council speaker, an ancient being that looked like a walking tree. That you help them do the same for others. That we work together to make the galaxy a place where everyone can thrive. Back on the new Terra, Insu watched as more and more alien ships arrived in the Vega system. Not warships this time, science vessels, colony ships. Families wanting to see the new worlds being born? Sir, Hyejin said, the Korthak Empire is requesting permission to land scientists on Vega Prime. They want to study the terraforming process. Granted, Insu said. Tell them to bring their children. The first human schools on Vega Prime will open next month. Their children can learn alongside ours. General Kyung-ho was reading reports from across human space. The Zephyrian Alliance has withdrawn their fleets. They're asking if we can help them restore their homeworld. Pollution has made it almost uninhabitable. Of course we'll help, Insu said. That's what neighbors do. Over the next few weeks, everything changed. The threat of war turned into an opportunity for peace. Alien governments that had planned to destroy human colonies instead asked to join them. But the real change happened in the council chambers. Ambassador Yejin stood before the gathered representatives with a document in her hands. The new covenant, she announced. A treaty unlike any in galactic history. Not an agreement to divide territory or limit weapons. An agreement to build together. She read the key points. All species will share their knowledge freely. All worlds will be developed in harmony with life. All children will learn about all cultures. No one will go hungry while others have plenty. No world will die while others have the power to save it. The council speaker was quiet for a long time. Then it spoke with a voice like wind through leaves. And if we sign this treaty, what guarantee do we have that humans won't use their superior technology to dominate us? Ambassador Yejin smiled. The same guarantee you have that we won't die trying to save you, none. But that's what trust means. She gestured to the screens showing the Vega system. Humans and aliens were working together on the new worlds. Children from a dozen species were playing in gardens that hadn't existed a month ago. We could have used our technology to conquer you, Yejin said. Instead, we used it to give you new homes. We could have kept our knowledge secret. Instead, we're teaching your scientists everything we know. We could have demanded payment. Instead, we ask only for friendship. One by one, the alien representatives began to sign the new covenant. Not all of them. Some still feared change. Some still preferred the old ways. But enough signed to make a difference. President Insu Bay stood on his ship and watched the galaxy transform around him. In the 3 months since the first human fleet had emerged from hiding, 17 new worlds had been created. 50 species had joined the new covenant. Children who had never seen aliens were now learning to speak each other's languages. Sir, Hyejin said, there's a message from Earth. Insu looked surprised. Earth is dead. Not Earth the planet, she said. Earth the memorial. The humans who stayed behind to tend the ruins. They say they're ready to come home now. Insu felt tears in his eyes. For 3,000 years, a few humans had stayed near the dead world, keeping watch, maintaining the monuments to those who had died. Now finally they could rest. Tell them we're coming to get them, he said. It's time for all of us to be together again. The new covenant was just the beginning. The real work of building a better galaxy was about to start. Philosopher King Sung Ho Kwan stood in the memorial garden on New Earth. Around him grew trees from 1,000 different worlds, their leaves every color imaginable. Children from dozens of species played among the flowers, their laughter mixing with the sound of water flowing through crystal streams. It had been 50 years since the new covenant was signed. 50 years since humans returned to the galaxy. Now Sung Ho was old and gray, but his eyes still sparkled with dreams. Your Majesty, said a young voice behind him. Sung Ho turned to see a small girl with blue skin and silver eyes. She was Zephyrian, but she spoke perfect human language. Just Sung Ho, he said gently. What's your name, little one? I'm Zara, she said. My teacher says you knew the people who built all this. Is that true? Sung Ho smiled and sat down on a bench made from living wood. I knew some of them. And they knew people who knew the ones before that. It's a long chain of dreamers stretching all the way back to Earth. Master Engineer Jin A. Park walked up the garden path. She was younger than Sung Ho, but her hair was white from years of working with stellar energy. In her hands, she carried a small device that glowed like a miniature star. The last fusion core is ready, she announced. We can begin Phase 3 of the Great Work, Sung Ho nodded. The Great Work was humanity's gift to the galaxy, not conquest or control, but transformation. They were turning the empty spaces between stars into gardens, creating new suns where there had been only darkness, building bridges of light that connected every world to every other world. How many systems will this complete? He asked. 2,417, Jinne said. Every dead system in the Outer Rim will have at least one living world. Every species will have room to grow. Chronicler Ho Young Lim appeared from behind a group of singing trees. He was always documenting everything, making sure nothing was forgotten. In his bag, he carried the stories of everyone who had helped build this new galaxy. The history books will say this was the day the galaxy truly became alive, Ho Young said. But they'll miss the real story. What's the real story? Little Zara asked. Ho Young knelt down to her level. The real story is that it started with a message from people who were dying but who refused to let hope die with them. Sung Ho looked up at the sky. From this garden you could see 7 different suns. All of them had been built by human engineers working with alien scientists. All of them powered worlds where beings from across the galaxy lived together in peace. Tell her about the first message, Sung Ho said to Ho Young. Ho Young smiled and pulled out a small recorder. The device projected a hologram of a woman in an old Earth uniform. She looked tired and sad, but her voice was strong. "This is Earth Station Alpha, final transmission. If anyone receives this message, remember us. Remember the blue world. The data package contains everything you need. Find the others. Bring them home." Zara listened with wide eyes. "That was from the old Earth?" "From our grandmother's grandmother's grandmother," Sung-Ho said. "She died so we could live. But more than that, she made sure we would remember what we were supposed to do." "What were we supposed to do?" "Take care of everyone," Jinny said simply. "Humans, aliens, plants, planets, all of it." A soft chime sounded through the garden. It was time for the ceremony. Representatives from every world in the galaxy would gather to watch the final phase of the great work begin. But first, Sung-Ho wanted to show Zara something special. "Come with me," he said, taking her small hand. They walked to the center of the garden, where a simple stone monument stood among the flowers. The monument was made from rock that had once been part of Earth. Carved into its surface were billions of names. Every person who had died when the blue world fell. Every person who had worked to build what came after. "This is why we do all this," Sung-Ho explained. "Not for glory or power, but because they asked us to remember them." "Do you remember them?" Zara asked. "Every day," Sung-Ho said. "And every day we try to make them proud." The ceremony began as the three suns in the local system reached their zenith. Beings from every corner of the galaxy watched as Master Engineer Jinne activated the final fusion core. Light exploded across space. Not destructive light, but creative light. The kind of light that makes flowers grow and children laugh. In minutes, 17 new stars ignited in the darkness of the outer rim. "Phase 3 is complete," Jinny announced to the watching galaxy. "The great work enters its final stage." Chronicler Ho Young was recording everything as always. "What is the final stage?" he asked. Sung-Ho looked at all the faces around him. Human faces. Alien faces. Children who had never known war or hunger or loneliness. Adults who had learned to dream bigger than their grandparents ever imagined. "The final stage," he said, "is letting go." "Letting go of what?" Zara asked. "Of the need to be in charge. Humans have spent 50 years teaching the galaxy how to build and grow and dream. Now it's time for everyone to do it together without us leading the way." Jinne understood. "You're talking about the graduation." The graduation was humanity's ultimate gift to the galaxy. They would step back from leadership and become just one species among many. No more special treatment. No more being seen as the ones with all the answers. "But what if people forget how to build new worlds?" someone asked. Ho Young held up his bag full of stories and records. "Then they'll remember. Everything we've learned is preserved. Every technique, every discovery, every dream. It belongs to everyone now." Sung-Ho walked back to the memorial stone. At its base, fresh flowers grew every day. Children from every world came here to learn about the past and dream about the future. "The people who died on Earth had one last request," he said to the gathered crowd. "They asked us to find the others and bring them home. We found humans scattered across the galaxy. We brought them home. But home isn't just one species anymore. Home is all of us together." Little Zara raised her hand. "What happens now?" "Now," Sung-Ho said, "you take over. You and your friends from every world. You decide what to build next. You decide where to explore. You decide how to make the galaxy even better. But we're just children. So were we once. So were the people who first left Earth to explore the stars. Being young means you can dream things that older people think are impossible." As the ceremony ended, people began to drift away. Some went back to their ships to carry the news to distant worlds. Others stayed to play in the garden and watch the new stars burn bright in the sky. Sung-Ho sat quietly on his bench, thinking about the long journey that had brought them here. From the dying Earth to the hidden fleets to the new covenant to the great work. Each step had been guided by the simple message from Earth Station Alpha. "Remember us. Find the others. Bring them home." "Mission accomplished," he whispered to the stars. Chronicler Ho Young sat down beside him. "What are you thinking about?" "The next message," Sung-Ho said. "Someday, far in the future, the galaxy will face a new crisis. And when that happens, someone will need to send a new message. A new hope? What will it say?" Sung-Ho looked at Zara and the other children playing among the impossible flowers. "It will say, 'Remember us. Remember how we learned to dream together. Remember that love is stronger than fear and hope is stronger than death.'" Jinne was packing up her equipment. Tomorrow she would start teaching young engineers from every species how to build their own suns. Her knowledge would spread and grow until anyone could light up the darkness. The blue world is gone, she said, but its children are everywhere now. Ho Young was writing in his book, recording the last words of the ceremony. What should I call this chapter? Sung Ho thought for a moment. Call it the end of the beginning. As the three suns set behind the singing trees, the memorial garden filled with soft light from the flowers themselves. Each bloom held a tiny spark of the same energy that powered the stars. The children would sleep tonight in beds warmed by stellar light, on worlds that had been dead rocks just decades ago. They would dream dreams their parents had never imagined possible. And when they woke up, they would build those dreams into reality. The blue world had died, but its children had inherited the stars, and they had learned to share them with everyone. In the end, that was the greatest victory of all. Not conquest, but gift-giving. Not dominance, but friendship. Not survival, but transformation. The humans had kept their promise to Earth. They had remembered. They had found the others. And they had brought everyone home.